welcome, sisters. Let us gather ourselves on this high holy day of Samhain. I invite you in to the place where the veils are the thinnest, to the place in between the worlds, to the place that calls us back into the dark, the turn of the wheel. As the great wheel turns again, we find ourselves called to the ancestors, to those who have passed before us, to honor, to listen, to sit here in gratitude, and to come to celebrate all that has been harvested and all that is to be released. Come, sisters, from far and near, we gather now, hearing the beat of the drum, the mother calling us with her heartbeat back into her fallow arms. Come, sisters. Come, sisters. Gather. Gather yourselves now, dropping everything else that you might be doing. Turn off the phones, shut the doors, enter in. Turn off the phones, shut the doors, and enter in. As I feel us gathering now from far and near across this planet, to return again on this high holy day of Samhain, the fire festival that marks the end of the harvest, the beginning of the winter, the pagan new year or the witches' new year, when we pass over the threshold into the fallow time, the time in between the light and the dark. As the days in the Northern Hemisphere become shorter and shorter and shorter. As the sun is lower in the sky. We call you, all who would be present here, we call you now. All those who've come before us, all those who will come after us, we call you. Breathing, closing your eyes and letting go. Traveling the beat of the drum like mother's heartbeat, leading us back home. Turn of the wheel, she said, I turn the great wheel, that you enter again the time of letting go. The time of release, the time where we can begin to turn inward, to come again into the darkness, to be rejuvenated, to begin the season of replenishment, of quiet, of stillness, of listening. Hail and welcome, sisters. Hail and welcome all who are gathered here. And the birds, I chose to come outside, even though I'm a little bit blown out in whiteness, which may be appropriate to the polarity of the darkness. To be with the elements, to be with the water of the creek that runs behind me, to be with the earth, to be with the air, to be with the breath, the birds, the four-leggeds, the two-leggeds. And so I'd like to anchor this space with us all by calling in the directions. So I am facing due east, I call in the gate guardians of the East, those who are here for the new beginnings that are yet to happen. Those who are the gate guardians of the rising sun, the light that returns even into the darkness. The inspiration of the East, I call it present here now. Oh, blessed be. I call in the gate guardians of the North, this direction as I'm sitting. The gate guardians of the North, the ancestors, those who we come to honor this day, those who have come before us, who we are here to bow in gratitude for our own lives and to listen into. We call present all of those ancestors from the North. Blessed be and welcome. We call in the gate guardians of the South, the fire, the heat that will keep us warm through the winter for those of us who are in the cooler climes, the fire that feeds and nourishes us, the fire that inspires us into creative acts of gratitude for all that we have. We honor the gate guardians of the South. Hail and welcome. And directly behind me, and the reason it is so bright in this moment, is the West, the setting sun. Hail and welcome, gate guardians of the West, those who hold the setting sun, those who invite us to go into the darkness, those who sit at this particular gate, holding the space for us to let go. Blessed be. Blessed be. And so, my sisters, before we begin to deepen into our ritual space today, I would love to hear where you are calling in from today. Where are you in the world, sisters? Where are you in the world? Let's see whether we can find out what areas of the world we have here present. And so go ahead and let me know. I'm looking at the comments right now to see what is real. Let me see. New Hampshire. We have New Hampshire in the US. We have Boise, Idaho. We have New York City. We have California. We have another California. We have Alaska here and present. New Jersey. Washington State. Hail and welcome, sisters. San Diego, California. Going deep into the underworld. Queens, New York, says Jillian. California. Huntington Beach, California. Lots of us. New South Wales, Australia. Welcome, Australia. Thank you, sister. Even though you are not heading into the dark, but to the light. Wisconsin. Two of us are in Dallas together, cleansing before our sacred tea. Beautiful. Florida, Cambria, North Carolina, Kauai, Nevada City is here. I am Nevada City too. Canada, Pennsylvania, Texas, Maryland. Beautiful. Greenville, North Carolina. The UK, welcome Fiona James in the UK. Chicago, Vancouver, BC, Canada. Mexico, welcome Mexico into this mix. Thank you, sisters. Thank you for being here. What a joy to be with you. Sao Paulo, Brazil, beautiful. We have Brazil, we have Mexico, we have, oh, what a joy, what a joy. Cortez, Colorado. Beaming in from Costa Rica. I love it. I want you to feel for a moment. Quebec, Canada is here. I want you to feel for a moment the joy of being in a circle that spans so many places on the planet and feeling the sisterhood that we are part of. I'd also love to know if this is your first time at a Priestess Presence public ritual ceremony. Is it your first time? Let us know. I'd love to hear that too. Shout out to Alessandra from Trinidad and Tobago. Yay. Thank you, Alessandra. Trinidad, Tobago. That's Gabrielle Mohammed. Beautiful that you're here, sister. So love that. And is there anyone here for the first time, or have you been coming to our rituals for some time? We mark the turn of the wheel. Yes, it's Stephanie. First time. Welcome, sister. We mark the turn of the wheels every time, the 8 points of the year. we travel through together. The summer solstice, the winter solstice, the two equinoxes, the Beltane, the Samhain, the Imbolc, the Lammas. And these are high holy days that we celebrate, where the veils are the thinnest. And what that really means for those of you who may be a little more new to this. Yes, first time, second time, beautiful. My first time, love feeling all you first time sisters here. Is when the veils are the thinnest. I want you to imagine it's like the acupuncture points on Mama Gaia's body are very, very sensitized at this time of year, when the veils are thinned, and we get to align with her. We get to energetically align with her. We get to give thanks to her, and we get to enter into the portals of our ever evolving spiral journey through this life. Each turn of the wheel marking an archetypal energy. And this turn of the wheel for Samhain marks our time into the dreaming time. In our larger temple, we are in the Weaver Dreamer energy. We are in the Weaver Dreamer energy, which is calling us to connect into the webs of those that came before, of all the great stories, of all the great myths and legends, all of our family lines, all of our ancestral lines, all of our heritage lines, whether known or unknown. We call them to be present here. And we call them to be present here to honor those who came before, to honor the land upon which we sit. And so I honor this land upon which I sit, which is the Nisenan Indian land. And I honor the Nisenan people who came before me and who are here holding the spirit of this land still. And I honor you, and I am grateful, and I thank you, the ancestors of this land, that I get to live here now, that I have this space, that I steward this space for the temple here on this sacred land. And so we call in those that we are grateful to, those that we know and those that we don't know, to honor and to make peace and healing with the entire ravages of our heritages and our lineages that have been desecrated by colonialism, by white supremacy, by white privilege, by all of the systems of oppression that have hidden our true ancestral lines, even for those who know, those of us who know where we come from, right? And so on this day of Samhain, which is a Celtic holiday, a Celtic high holy day, and I bring it from my own lineage, from being in England, and the heritage of my childhood, where we celebrated all of the turns of the wheel together, where it was integral to how the year passed that these holy rituals were met together, and that we held the space together for the deepening inquiry, the deepening celebration, the deepening awareness. And so we come together from all walks of life, from all creeds, colors, from all ethnicities, from all lineages, to celebrate this turn of the wheel, for me to share this ritual with you that is rooted in my ancestry and rooted in my blood, breath, and bones. And it is my joy to offer it to you as a sisterhood, to invite you in to this high holy day. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be. So lovely to be here with so many of you. And so I light this candle. If I can find the lighter, here it is. I light this candle, beloved ones. I light this candle to call us all present here in the one heart. This one candle that will sit to hold the central flame of the hearth of this temple. So are we ready to ground into this ritual now together? Are you ready to cross this threshold, sisters, on this day of the ancestors, to come to the fallow arms of the mother? And so I invite you to feel the beginning of the turning within, the turning within, the pull magnetically to bring us back into the darkness. The wheel of the year holds us in this bipolarity, the paradox of the light and the dark. Neither one or the other complete without that balance. And so we have moved from fall equinox, which was on September 22nd or 23rd this year, from that equal day and night, to now October 31st. That's the midway point into the darkness, the darkest day being the 21st of December, winter solstice, when we'll gather again to mark the turn. But this day, this high holy day, is a fire festival that invites us to mark the end of all that has grown in us this year, of all that's already been harvested. And it is the natural point of letting go, which is completed at winter solstice. And so this is a season of letting go from October 31st through December 21st. And when we hit December 21st, the spark of the new life is within us, but we are to lie fallow with it until in bulk. And so there is this place where we can feel this in our bodies. So I'm going to take a moment for you to feel this turning in. Feel the coolness of the air, of the fall. The fall. Literally, you call it that here in America, the fall. We call it autumn in England, but the fall that invites us to come into a place of letting go, the leaves falling. We're falling back to the earth. All that has grown up is now falling back to the earth to be received into her grave. Archetypally, next cycle, we move into the Queen of Death, which is where we stay until winter solstice. And there is this beautiful rhythm and symphony that's held within this turn of the wheel, within the 13 archetypes that form the basis of the Priestess Presence Temple. So let us find this movement within ourselves, the spiral that returns us inside. So if you might join me in stirring the cauldron inside, bringing the energy back into the womb space, bringing the energy back into the womb space. This mudra showing us the magnetic cycle, the coming back in cycle from the electro cycle, which has had us going out, and now we come back in. And so inviting you to feel this spiral motion as we make the mudra that brings us back in. Rakta, bringing us back into the blood of the mother. Rakta, bringing us back into the deep heart of the mother. The blood, the breath and the bones of the mother. So feeling that spiral, let us walk together upon that spiral, beloveds. And so closing your eyes and taking some deep breaths in, I want you to see in front of you a pathway that begins a spiral. And this pathway is chiseled into the earth. And as you step upon it, you feel the presence of the earth upon your feet. And it is in the clearing in the forest with big trees, grandmother and grandfather trees. And the trees are dropping their leaves. And everything is inviting us to go inward. And so we begin now to walk upon this earthen spiral. And as we look down, we notice that it is colored in deep red earth, blood red earth of the mother. And so as we begin to walk forward, we start to enter in deeper into the forest. And as we walk, we can feel the spiral turning us in a curvature. And as it turns us, we begin to feel it deepening, as if we are going down, as if this spiral is going down into the earth herself. And as we continue to walk, we are aware of the light beginning to dim, the sound beginning to be silenced, and a quiet beginning to descend around us. And so take your time to feel your way as the spiral pulls you like a magnet pulls you to go forward, and deeper you go into the center of this dark, ancient, wooded forest, this spiral leading you to the central point. And as we come to the central point, we realize that we have walked down into the belly of the earth herself, and we are now in an earthen cave with beautiful rock formations all around us, lit in candle light. Letting our eyes adjust to the light, we feel the presence of many others being called, coming down the spiral, coming now, gathering sisters from all over the globe, coming into the darkness. And so as we gather now in this etheric circle, as we gather now, we feel the presence of each sister bringing her heart, bringing her soul. And from this place, we begin to soften and become quiet, letting go of the thinking ego mind that has to know anything. We begin to fall into the earth. And as you now continue to journey here, you find yourself called to lie upon the earth herself. And as you lay down, you feel the moist, rich earth holding you, mother holding you, the scent of the earth, pungent, fecund. And as you lay your body down, you are invited between the veils. You begin to feel the call. You begin to feel the desire and yearning to let go. And so as your body begins to let go with each breath now into the earth, feeling the earth, letting out a sound to let go, and feeling all that has been harvested, all of the challenges, all of everything that you have traveled thus far, this solar return. And just feeling all that you have brought to full harvest, and that is now returning to the earth, seeding to the earth. And just taking a moment to feel what is being let go of here. What is it, sister, that you have come to let go into the arms of the mother, into the arms of the ancestors? What is it that you yearn to release into her and into their holding? So just taking a moment to feel that whatever arises up, breathing and letting it go. Consciously on the out breath, let go. All of the effort, all of the work, of the harvesting, of all of the work, of the growing, all of the challenges that we have faced individually and collectively this year, to let go in this moment all of the ravages of what our culture is going through in these end times, the dissolving times, we can consciously be part of letting go. And so you may name to yourself right here what is beginning to let go in you, which leaves are falling from the tree of your being. What is completing, and that will be completing through this next cycle from Samhain to winter solstice, but that you begin it now. I let go of needing to know the next way forward, Mother. I let go of needing to have the answer. I let go into the cycle of quiet. And so taking your time to just let go with each breath, feeling it leaving your body into the earth. Softening and letting yourself feel the earth. And noticing any part of you that may feel somehow like you're holding on. And just greet that part lovingly. And let her know there is time. That this is the first gateway into that which is being released. That this is the first gateway of acknowledging what is ready to die. Death beholds us. And the dreams that connect us to our ancestors are here now. Are here now in the quiet, in the dark. And so as you lie on Mother, you become aware that you're lying on the fallow graves of your ancestors who have come before you. Those that you would now call present in your heart. And so taking this moment to name aloud in your own space, and we all hearing with the etheric ears, all those that you would call present now to honor in this moment. I call forward Olive Constance Doughty and her mother, before her my great-grandmother Agnes Florence Weedham. And I call forward Margaret Ann Tremethick, Maud Alice Bourne, Agnes Bourne. I call forward Keith Sherville Doughty, Alexandra Frederick Doughty. And so just keep naming who you're calling forward to be here now at this deep meeting of the ancestors between the veils. Who is it that you call forward, sisters? And as you call these beings forward, we begin to feel their presence coming to meet us. Coming to meet us. Feeling the presence of your grandfathers and grandmothers, your great aunties and uncles and cousins, and all those who have been part of your bloodline. And as we call them forward, we feel this lineage stretching back behind us and in front of us. And if you do not know their names, call them in spirit, beloveds, for there is no mistaking your call. Call them in spirit, it does not matter. And as you feel this space filling with their presence, drop deeper into your heart of what you are most grateful for in this connection. That we come here to thank those that came before. And so taking this moment to bless and thank these beings, thanking them for what they gifted you, thanking them for maybe the wounds that were part of what was bestowed that have become your soul journey, thanking them for giving you the lifeline, the bloodline that you now carry, and releasing any aspect of your ancestry that carries the shadow of abuse, the shadow of pain, turning toward it and blessing it and releasing it back to the earth, her mother self, laying it to rest in her arms. And so we come to this deep, dark place within, the bloodline of your ancestry. And from this place, we ask for your wisdom, ancestral ones. We ask for your wisdom of what you might share with us, each one of us in this moment, about where we are on the journey. And so we deepen to listen here now. We deepen to listen with all of our being to our mothers and fathers and their mothers and fathers, and the whole web that may or may not be known to you, that roots you in a bloodline and an ancestry and a heritage that is rich. And in this moment, we re-establish those bloodlines to your heritage that is rich with connection to the earth, with connection to the rituals, to the customs, to the deep cultural context of each one of us. We call present our ancestors to gift that to us in this moment. So let that blood flow through each one of us, that we may reawaken and remember our connection to all that came before, that we may be the one that walks it forward now. And if this is unknown to you, just let go into the knowing that when one calls, truly calls from the heart, then we are called to listen to what shows up. And so listening now for an image or a word or a symbol or a feeling coming to you from these ancestors. Letting yourself just feel whatever it is that's being received here now. Uttered and whispered between the veils. And if your mind is in the way at all, thinking or trying to figure it out, see if you can just bless that mind, bless that need to know from the mental, and let yourself drop in to the arms of your lineage, of your ancestry. quieter we become, the more still we become, the more we drop below the mental body into the blood and the breath and the bones to receive the poetic, the mythic, poetic messages that come from the realm of the ancestors who live in the other world, passing back and through across the threshold. We in this moment, standing at the gates of the threshold, 1 foot in the land of the living and 1 foot in the land of that which is releasing form, and feeling our capacity to die whilst being alive. For this is what our ancestors invite us to contemplate: the act of dying rooted in our living body, the experience of letting go now at Samhain, to touch into the bones, the blood, the breath of our ancestors. So feeling this movement in yourself and seeing and feeling and hearing what you receive as a gift for this next season of letting go. What does your ancestor say to you about what you are being called to release now? It may not be something that you have thought of. It may come in the form of an image or a symbol or a word. However it appears to you, fully receive it now. Fully receive it now. Letting it begin to settle into this body, whatever you are being shown. And noticing any resistance or any mental confusion that you may have, and just letting it go again, over and over, as you lay upon the earth, breathing, hearing the whispers of those who've come before, and those from whom we nourish the root of our being. And so taking your time here, taking your time here to fully surrender what you have been carrying that is ready to fall fallow. And so making a bookmark for yourself of that which you're being asked to complete in this next cycle, that which your ancestors have asked you to come to completion with, not for your own journey alone, but for all beings. Knowing that in this next turn of the wheel, from Samhain to solstice, you will be completing this through dream time, through waking time, through conscious collaboration and partnership with the ancestors. And so we give thanks, turning towards those ancestors that have been most present for you and reaching to them in such gratitude that we may hear their voices through the noise of all of the outside world. And very gently picking yourself up off the fallow earth and breathing and beginning to stretch the body, to move the hands, to move the feet. Taking some deep breaths in as you come back now from this deep place between the worlds that lives within every single one of us, this center point to the spiral of incarnation, the spiral out of which we are born, out of which all things are born in this spiral motion. And the spiral returns to its center, to the sipapu, to the singularity, out of which new universes are born. It is the portal between the worlds. It is a convergence point. In the rhythm of the year, this is a convergence point where we converge and we can actually feel between the worlds more easily, and we can align with being one who walks as love, one who walks in connection to the rhythm of the mother, and who is here to serve her holy ways. And so as you come back and open your eyes, coming back to this drumbeat, bringing with you the voice of the ancestors, the gifts, bringing with you that which you know now needs to live within you and die within you in this next turn of the wheel, bringing back with you that which is to be composted, bringing back with you the connection, the words, the feelings of your ancestors, your heritage, and all the healing that you stand for as one who walks forward on this path. And opening your eyes to come back here now, feeling the heartbeat of the mother. With this drumming, if it inspires you to share in the comments what you have been gifted with, what you have released, what you are being called to release, what you received from the ancestors as an invitation. And let's take this time to share that together. And I'm going to hold the beat of the drum for a few moments to bring us back, to hold the space of that connection as we continue now to weave, knowing that everything that is said is not simply for you, but it is for the one. We find each other in each other's words and images and symbols, for that is what it means to come together as a collective, to find the story, to remember the stories that are encoded in each turn of the wheel, that give us a map to navigate by, a map for the never-ending circular spiral return. There is something to ground ourselves in, something to feel ourselves in, something to taste, something to touch, a place where we get to navigate from and to. And so just sharing those comments, and I will come and share some of them aloud in just a moment. But holding this beat as the sun sets behind me, as we're invited now to receive one another. Breathing together. Letting go and breathing. Breathing. Letting go without each out breath. Sha. Hey. Laying down now and letting go. Letting go. Falling in now. Falling in now. Letting go. And letting go. Lay it down now. Lay it down now. Feed those who came before. Feed those who came before. Lay it down now. Let it go now into her arms. Into her arms. Lay it down now. Lay it down now. Breathe it out now. Breathe it out. And so, let us share some of what is being laid down or what we are being instructed to release at this time. Beautiful. I release the fear of not knowing the next turn of the wheel and life direction specifics. I relax into the unknown. Releasing cellular impediments, laying down my parent tapes, letting go of my judgments and not knowing, letting go of releasing all judgment, letting go of distrust and lack of spirit, letting go of stress and worry and fear and uncertainty and self-doubt, letting go of dishonoring habits and behaviors, subconscious unhealthy patterns from my genealogical hereditary histories, in particular in relationship to my parenting and being a soulful, loving mother, witnessing, releasing anger for dead dreams. Blessed be, Andrea. Letting go of distrust and lack of spirit. Releasing the need to know. Releasing the need to know. I love it. Thank you, sisters. I'm going to see if I can get to a few more of your comments. I'm laying down the expectation of myself and of others. I am letting go of my heart split in half and opening up to a full and happy heart. Letting go of anxieties and fears. Letting go of the fear, letting go of shame and guilt. Letting go of putting others before and feeling unworthy. Releasing ancestral mistrust. Thank you, beloved, for naming that. Releasing the ancestral mistrust that we may cleanse our bloodlines through who we choose to be as an emissary of our ancestors, walking forward now, claiming the light and the power of that ancestry. Blessed be. Releasing the battles and standing in faith and truth. DNA strands creating a massive web of branches into the heavens and the roots into the earth. Complete oneness. A collective knowing of what is happening and how we react in the process of life, love, joy, nurturance, so much love, embraced into this oneness, letting go, releasing ego, surrendering into the warmth. My maternal grandmother called to me to tell her story. I love that, Tracy, as did mine, as did mine. Letting go of the belief that I'm not enough, letting go of bloodline trauma and negativity. For the one, letting it go, releasing ancestral guilt and the darkness of the ancestral past, letting it go. Those ancestors who were the colonizers, those ancestors who themselves were colonized, those ancestors that we have received who were stuck in that mindset, who are part of that movement. We stand as the healing of that now, and we cleanse our own ancestral lines in this moment. We begin again. Blessed be that prayer. Beautiful. Healing my Jewish ancestry and hoping that my daughter realizes that we have the job of raising this child. Blessed be Beth, witnessing you. Releasing all unforgiveness. Releasing all cords and webs and roots and threads and hooks and psychic debris and psychic attack connecting me to any person, place, experience, or thing that is seemingly draining my energy and vitality through all directions of time, space. Thank you, sister, for that clearing of energy. Releasing the attack and the mistrust of the feminine. Yes, I claim my ancestral lines to be cleansed through my being now, of all unworthiness, of all of the darkness and the shadow of appropriation, of all of the darkness and the shadows of the ways in which the blindness has led us to the point that we stand up. We become those who are choosing now to see and be awake within the dream that is being woven, and aware of the impact each one of us has in that reality that is being woven. And at this moment, on this Samhain, we claim this power to cleanse our own bloodlines, to reclaim the heritage that would feed us, and to transmute the heritage that would harm us. And we stand here with all of our ancestors, all of the beloved ones, all of those we have eschewed, all those ones we have turned away from, and we call them all present for this healing here now. The healing that will bring us to a place of connection, of heart, of love, of possibility, of that which will be reborn as we go through this next cycle of truly releasing that does not serve. And so we have entered that gateway this day, not just for the individual, for nothing is done for the individual in ritual space. It is done for the community. It is done for the entirety, for the whole, for the one. That we release these codes of patriarchy, that we release these shackles that have bound us into the enactment and the reenactment of the victim-perpetrator cycle, and that we release that now and we claim the richness of our heritages, the richness of our ancestry, the richness of our lineages to be here now with us and support us. And we call forward all that would support that, all that would give energy to that, all that would help us and support us to walk into the unknown, which is where we stand at the gates of Samhain. Into the unknown we go, to recalibrate with the mother, that this next turn of the wheel, this next cycle births something new for us as a collective. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. I'm bringing this out for all beings. May we all be released from the tyranny of the system of oppression that has governed our world. May we use this day to honor the ancestors and to cleanse the lines of anything less than love in ourselves. And so it is. To the one heart. To the one heart. To the one heart. Blessed be, my sisters. Blessed be. We let it be, and so it is, and so it is. And so just feeling this power that happens when we come together in intentional space, when we come together to bring our consciousness, our intention here now. We affect the matrix, we affect the field of awareness, we affect through our own commitment to releasing that no longer serves us, to recognizing the patterns that debilitate us, that keep us blind, that we may have inherited from our ancestral lines. We let it go now. And the ancestors, they know, for we stand here as their healing. Their healing, for when we heal this, they heal this through all timelines. And so feeling that is the gift that we have to walk forward, beloveds. And so we bless this Samhain. We bless one another. And I want to thank you as the sun continues to go down, as we continue to be now held in the darkness. And I will return to mark the turn of the wheels with you again at winter solstice, so that we may keep the rhythm, keep the rhythm, keep the rhythm. And in that rhythm, find the points of convergence at which change happens. Change happens. Blessed be, sisters. May we release this circle now, thanking all who have been present and releasing all the directions. Coming to the central point, the mudra of I am here now. To the one heart. We'll see you all again very soon. And for those of you who are curious about the priestess presence and about how we deepen into this work, stay tuned, because we will be opening up our enrollment for the next year of our priestess initiate training. It will be happening in November. And so we will be literally opening the doors to receive those who are being called to walk into the deeper mystery and to attune and align with these archetypal energies even more deeply in your lives. And so stay tuned for that, my loves. If you've been curious about what we do here, you're going to be able to enter in more deeply if that is something that's calling you. And so I will be letting you all know about that very soon, once the doors open for good, for real, once the temple doors open for that chance to step in. And then we begin the cycle of the year again in January with the Great Mother. And we follow it all the way through December. And it is an amazing journey. And these high holy days are a little taster of the kind of space that we enter into and that we stay in for an entire year. So if this has been nourishing to you and you yearning for more of this kind of space, that is what the Enter the Mystery Circle is about. And so I want to just place that into the collective, because I love to be in this kind of space with you, and I love to create these spaces together. And it is such a joy to get to feed our souls and to listen in and to receive the wisdom that cannot be garnered from outside, but that is truly a Gnostic knowing. And this kind of ritual space is what we create ongoingly within the Priestess Presence Temple, with all those different faces of the archetypes, the 13 different faces. And so I'll be sharing more with you about that in the next couple, 2-3 weeks. Okay, my loves, blessed be. Thank you for being here.